Hello and welcome back to another episode of Diablo to D&D. My name is David, and today we're going to be going over the creation of the Elementalist Sorceress. Before we do that, though, I am going to remind you that the files are now up on Google Drive. You can find the link on the YouTube channel homepage. It's a whole lot easier to use than the Microsoft OneDrive, and you can access it even if you don't have an account, so go check it out there and do what you want. The Elementalist is a sorceress subclass that I have had in the back of my mind for a little bit now. Just the one that kind of uses all three elements. They don't specialize into one specific element. So what I've done is I've taken the three elements, lightning, cold, and fire, and made them individual class abilities. At 6th level, you get telekinesis. I'm not going to be reading them here because they're pretty long and I want to make this a fairly short video. But at 6th level, you get telekinesis, which means you get mage hand and you can push and pull things. This was a 5th level feature for the sorceress before I had added spellcasting and refined the level progression. At 14th level for enchant, you get the spell magic weapon. This adds a +1, +2, +3 to a non-magical weapon. This was I think 7th level ability, but what I've done is I've bumped it up to 14th level, and so you cast it at 6th level, which means that it's always going to be a +3 without concentrating on the spell, and the additional damage is fire instead of the weapon's type. I would use elemental weapon, but it's not basic rules. And then at 18th level, you get Frozen Orb. This was something that I had looked at of how do I do this? Is it like a line of, fairly sizable in both directions? And what I ended up doing is just using the spell Freezing Sphere. It's essentially a frozen fireball. It's a 60-foot radius, so it is massive. But it does basically what Frozen Orb in Diablo does. You're missing out on that line, but the Frozen Orb does explode at the end of its journey. And so I just thought, well, it's, you can make a beat out of it, kind of like delayed blast fireball, and you can throw it, and it's an orb that is frozen. So it's a shortcut to to make the ability work. I don't know if it's something that I'll be keeping around, but I think it works fairly well. So let me know. The idea is that the Elementalist is a support subclass. Telekinesis, pushing, pulling, moving some people around on the battlefield, items as well. Enchant is giving your marshals that are missing out on magical weapons the ability to have magical weapons. And then Frozen Orb is kind of finally the massive fireball thing. But also it can freeze water up to 6 inches. So if you really need to cross a river or something like that, you can toss a Frozen Orb in there and blows up, and hey, now you've got 6 inches of ice that you can walk across. One of the problems that I've run into, however, is what do I do at level 2? I thought about giving you something like Absorb Elements, but Absorb Elements is Elemental Evil player's companion, which means I can't do that. But I could do something like when you're hit with a fire, cold, or lightning spell or ability or damage or whatever, you reduce the damage by 1d6, or you have resistance to the damage. As a reaction, you have resistance to the damage, or just every day you get resistance to one of those types. I don't know, something useful. Another is like you have a pool of d4s equal to your proficiency bonus, and whenever you deal damage of this type, you can increase it by 1d4, so it gives you a little bit more of offensive abilities early on. I'd like it to be some kind of usefulness, focusing on that support caster idea, but I don't know. I don't know what I would put in here, but right now the Elementalist is official playtest material. So go ahead, check it out, play it. For right now, just, come up with your own idea for a 2nd level ability. I do try to have those early levels playable, but I figured, I've already got most of the the lineup done already, so I might as well put it out there and let people play with it. I'm really excited about this, and we will see how all of this shakes out. I'm going to end it there. Like I said, this is a short video, just getting something out so that I can work on homework, because it's finals week. Yay! Anyway, you can contact me at XenosFan2, that is XENOZFAN2 on Blue Sky and Reddit. And you can contact the channel directly at Diablo TODND on Blue Sky and YouTube. Thank you much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good whatever.